Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Good day. Good day. First off, I just got to thank you. I've been following your teachings for 5 years now, and my life has just exploded into a ecstatic explosion of synchronicity, as you mentioned.
All right. Well, congratulations on creating your life that way.
Thank you so much, Bashar. So I had two questions and then a short story if I have time. So my first question is, what is the root cause of what we here on Earth know as bipolar disorder, specifically type 1? And what is mechanically happening during a manic episode?
All right. Well, the idea to understand of that particular disorder, as you call it, is the idea that all of you know that you have within what you consider to be your single personality, actual multiple personalities, and also a sense of polarization. The idea that there is light and dark, the idea that there is positive and negative, so on and so forth. And if there is not an understanding, energetically or intellectually even, or in your belief system, if there's not the tools to understand how things are actually a trinity, that there's always a balance point in between what seems to be nothing more than a duality, but that in truth there is always the balance point, a trinity. If you don't have that understanding, then people can, for a variety of reasons, mentally, chemically, what have you, psychologically, tap into only the duality without perceiving, without experiencing the balance point in between, because of belief systems they bought into, because of how they were raised, the training they received, that either negated their ability to tap into the third point, the balance point, the stabilization point of the Trinity, in structure, in physics, in the structure of existence itself, in the physics of it, or they simply have no idea that such a thing exists and only see the duality. And so, when they arrive at certain points in their experience of life, whether they're young or older, and certain different levels of consciousness attempt to expand and kick in, if they don't understand how to balance themselves, if they don't have the tools, or they refuse to believe those tools exist or refuse to use them for one reason or another, usually a fear-based belief, they may expand only into the duality aspect, and therefore they will polarize themselves and start feeling, in a sense, well, euphemistically, kind of like a ping pong game, going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And as they attempt to continue to expand their consciousness, the extremes, the duality extremes, may become even more extreme, because again, there's no governor, there's no balance point, there's no stabilization effect, because they are not using the idea of the balance point in the center. They're not understanding the triad, the trinity structure of these things that gives them the ability to merge these things, blend these things, harmonize these things, and they only see two sides. They never see the edge of the coin. They only see the head and the tail. Is this making some sense?
That makes perfect sense, actually. I really appreciate that that answer. Yeah, I guess that's about it, Bashar. I can't thank you enough for your time, and I appreciate you.
You have thanked us more than enough. Good day.
Good day.
Hello, Bashar. This is Toshi from Tokyo, Japan. You said in the last transmission in September that in Ireland there is also one of the 13 master crystal skulls. So my question is, what's the name of that crystal skull, and what kind of archetypal energy does that crystal skull in Ireland represent? Thank you. Bye-bye.
It represents a strong connection to nature spirits. That's what it basically represents. One moment. There is nothing in the channel's vocabulary that would allow us to pronounce the name. That's it. There is nothing in the channel's vocabulary that would translate into the appropriate name. It does have a name, but it's in what you would call ancient Celtic.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
This is Carol in California, and I'm really happy to see you.
We thank you. It is our joy to interact with you as well.
Thank you. So I have a few questions.
Yeah.
And one of them starts out with, you once told us that you communicate with all the life forms on this planet. So I was wondering, do you have like regular sessions with nature spirits and Sasquatch and
Yes.
dolphins? You do. And even what about bacteria?
Yes.
You actually communicate with the bacteria?
Well, yes, but not like I'm communicating with you.
Can you expand on that and tell me how you're doing that? Because
it's an energy vibrational resonance that recognizes their place in nature and amplifies the idea of a connection between us. And in that connection, there are certain resonant frequencies, certain tones, certain vibrations that represent states of being that represent an exchange of information. It's very different than the way we're communicating with you, although there are some similarities in the sense that there is vocalization coming through the channel, which is a vibrational resonance. But nevertheless, it's not organized into the kind of language you would understand necessarily. It's much deeper, much more resonant into the vibrations of nature, the vibrations of the planet, using different frequencies that are natural to the planet that they connect to. It's a whole different kind of connection and conversation.
Wow, that's fascinating. So are they part of, you know how we have this global consciousness where we're the masters of limitation? Yes. Are they a part of all of that? Are they also limited like we are in their belief systems?
They don't have belief systems in the same way that you do, but they are expressions of nature. They understand what they are as expressions of nature in the way that they can cognate themselves, but it's very different than the way you cognate yourself. You may not necessarily be able to understand the difference between the way you do and the way that they do. It would be very alien and foreign to you.
All right. So are they also aware of, or do they even care about the first contact and the hybrid children coming here? Are the other entities?
Not in the way that you're meaning it. They just accept the idea of the patterns that they perceive as being the natural evolution of the planet of which they are a part. They don't necessarily have to pick out or discern what that means in terms of who's doing what and where they come from. It's more for them, and this is a very crude analogy, it's more for them like listening to a symphony orchestra. When you're listening to a piece of classical music, you're just following the feelings that come up for you when certain notes and harmonics are played. You don't necessarily know that on another level, that particular note or that particular harmonic might mean something very specific to someone else. So you don't necessarily pull out those kinds of specifics. You're just going with the flow of the resonance of the music and whatever state it puts you in.
Wow, that's beautiful. As far as when the hybrid children do come here, are any of these entities, any of these other life forms on our planet going to step up and be teachers to them? Because maybe I have the wrong impression, but I see entities such as the nature spirits and that they would, in a way, because they are ancient energy forms, that they might actually come forward and be teachers to the hybrid children.
Yes, this is why it's expressed in the idea that is the story that was created about Willa Hilla-Crissing, where the idea of future hybrids constantly interact with nature spirits in different forms. They can perceive them. They have the senses to perceive them, and the nature spirits understand that and present themselves to them. And there can be an exchange of information. It's not just about the nature spirits teaching the hybrids. The hybrids have things to share with the nature spirits as well.
Oh, yeah, I would imagine so. I have a nature spirit guide, and they showed me how they, I was asking them, how do you nourish yourself? And one of the things they showed me, or this one showed me, was that they came close to the plants and stuff, and they literally merged with them. And I saw like this interchange, and then they parted from each other, and everybody was happy.
Yes, in a sense, it's a symbiotic relationship and exchange of frequencies and energies, yes.
Right. So can humans do that with the nature spirits?
You can to some degree, but you have a lot to learn before you get there.
I see. So I think the last thing I wanted to ask about was the sixth hybrid race.
Yes.
Since this planet is so filled with so much life, is there something from all spectrums of life, like the nature spirits and the whales and the dolphins? Are they also a part of the sixth hybrid race?
Well, in a sense, we are being general and specific when we say that, because we're actually talking about the evolution of what you consider to be humanity when we talk about the sixth hybrid race. But again, remember, you're shifting to different versions of Earth in which that already exists, and in which all the life on that version of Earth plays a part in harmony with the concept of the evolutionary progression.
Okay. Thank you very much. Those are all the questions I had for you today. And I love talking to you, and I love you.
Our unconditional love to you as well. Good day.